So, I've done close to 1,000 videos by now, and right now I'm going to talk about something that I've never talked about before on my channel, and that's depression. I wouldn't consider myself normally, I'm a generally happy person. I have a lot of things to be thankful for, I've got a great family, parents and sister I love very much that are awesome and caring and loving. I love my job. I have a job that I enjoy doing, and I also enjoy a generous amount of time off from this job as well too. I love the fact that I have a I love my apartment. It's a nice apartment that I'm renting for dirt cheap, $538 a month. And to rent an apartment for $538 a month in London, Ontario, Canada, which is about 200 kilometers or 120 miles from Toronto, to be paying that price to rent a bachelor apartment in an apartment building in 2020, that's an amazing deal, awesome deal. It's way cheaper than most other apartments out there. Thankful for, I'm in good health. Thankful for my financial situation. I'm by no means am I rich, but at least I've got a few extra bucks in the bank, besides paying for my necessities such as shelter, food, clothing, medicine, that kind of thing. I've got a few bucks left over that I can go traveling as well too. I've got several trips lined up for traveling across Canada this summer, so I'm generally a happy, pretty content person. But like many other people, there are times that I do feel a bit depressed. I've been off work for a little over a month now, like many other people in Canada and other parts of the world. And right now, basically, the great majority of businesses and workplaces are shut down right now across Canada. Basically, only stores that are providing essential services, such as Walmart, Dollarama, which is a dollar store that's pretty similar to, say, the Dollar Tree down in the States, Giant Tiger, which is like a Canadian version, a small Canadian and smaller version of Walmart, supermarkets, restaurants, that kind of thing. There's only maybe about 5% of what's normally open is actually open right now. And I mean, there's all this advice to stay home and only go out for essential trips and all that. So that's meant a lot of staying home, only going out for essential trips. And I mean, even when you do go out, you're just going out to buy the essential things. It's not like there's very much to do right now because a lot of things are not open. And I guess at times over the last month or so, I've felt a bit depressed at times. The one weekend that I found to be quite depressing was Easter weekend. Even though I've lived away from home for several years now, there's certain holidays such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, of course, Family Day, which is the third Monday in February here in Ontario, Canada, and through many parts of Canada actually, as well as Easter. Those 4 holidays I'm used to spending with my family. I'm used to going down to Mississauga and spending Easter with my parents and sister. Well, this year I couldn't even do that. I had to stay home and spend it by myself. And the reason why I didn't go spend Easter with my family is that, I've had my fair share of community exposure, such as using public transit and going to stores to go shopping and all that stuff. And I live in an apartment building as well too. My apartment building, even though it is a small low-rise apartment building, it's safe to assume that there's at least 50 other people living in this building. So you got to figure that's at least 50 people that have been touching all the door handles, mailboxes, and the washer and dryer and all that. So being given that I've had all that kind of community contact, I would hate to go down and visit my parents and sister and end up inadvertently taking them COVID-19. In case you didn't know, it is possible that if you come in contact with COVID-19, it's possible to become a carrier of COVID-19, and it's possible that you might not even suffer any of the normal symptoms that people normally suffer from COVID-19. So it's possible that I'd be in perfect health, not suffer any symptoms or anything, but become a carrier if I've been in contact with people who have had it, and I could inadvertently take it to my parents and sister. I would hate to do that. So for the first time ever, I had to spend Easter by myself. Of course, I've been keeping in contact with my parents and sister. I've been talking to them regularly over the phone, like every couple of days or so. But it's just not the same as being there with them in person to have dinner and all that stuff for Easter. So I found Easter weekend, especially Easter Sunday, to be particularly depressing. And I know I'm not the only one out there that's suffering from depression. What I can say, well, first of all, disclaimer, I don't have any kind of medical background whatsoever. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I have no medical background, no medical training, or I've never taken any kind of courses about psychology or psychiatry or anything like that. So all I'm just expressing is my personal opinions in this video. But I guess some suggestions I can suggest for if you're suffering from depression. And these aren't going to work for everyone, but hopefully they do work for some people. I know that during lockdown, when you're home, it can be difficult to keep yourself occupied. It's easy to get bored, but try keeping yourself as occupied as possible and taking your mind off it. Like one of the things that I've been doing since being off work in March is cleaning my apartment. Like I've been laid off because of COVID-19, just like many other people, but I've been cleaning up my apartment. Like doing stuff, cleaning the bathroom, cleaning out like my kitchen, my 4 kitchen drawers. I had a whole bunch of stuff in those kitchen drawers, bills, junk mail, personal items, all kinds of personal paperwork that I've received. And I guess I just figured I'd throw it in there and shred it later on. And receipts as well too. Well, over the last few days, I spent last week shredding a whole bunch of personal documents that I no longer need, as well as throwing out a whole bunch of receipts I don't need, and just generally throwing out stuff I don't need, and straightening up my place, and just getting it looking better, and cleaning the bathroom. Because number one, it will keep you occupied. Number two, a clean, organized place is a much easier place to deal with when it comes to finding stuff. And number three, I don't know about you, but I get a huge sense of accomplishment and happiness after cleaning up my place and getting it looking nice and organized. Like to me, I get a great sense of accomplishment after cleaning my place and getting it looking tidy. So you can keep yourself busy by cleaning up your place, and doing necessary projects around your home. Like if there's pictures you want to put up, if there's like a closet door that needs to be repaired or anything like that, you know, keep yourself busy. That's one thing, one way of keeping your mind off of. That's one way to keep your mind off of negative stuff and feel less depressed. Another thing you can do too, reach out to your family and friends. Reach out to people that you talk to all the time, but also reach out to those family members and friends that you haven't talked to in a long time. I'm sure they'll be glad to hear from you. You'll be glad to hear from them. And you can catch up on old times, talk about, how COVID-19 is being handled in your area and everything like that. So, catch up with family and friends. Maybe another thing you can do as well too is if there's some skill or something that you want to learn, that you want to practice or learn, this is a good time to do it. Like if you want to learn a new language, you can go to different YouTube, like I've seen lots of YouTube videos, like learn French, learn German, learn Spanish. You can take an online course and learn stuff. You can even look up recipes as well too. Another thing you can do to get your mind off stuff, like this might sound silly to some people, but cooking. Like I know myself, personally, I generally hate cooking. I generally hate spending time in the kitchen, but you know what? I've been home for a month now, a little over a month. And I know the restaurants in my area, even though a lot of the restaurants are still open, you're not allowed to eat inside those restaurants. So they have their dining rooms closed. You can only go to those restaurants to do takeout, or you can go through the drive-through or do delivery. And I don't really feel like doing that. This is your opportunity to go down to the store, whether it be Walmart or some other supermarket, buy yourself some groceries and cook them yourself at home. A, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. B, it's more nutritious to eat at home than to be eating out with fast food and all that. And C, it's a good time to experiment. You can learn how to cook. You can look up recipes online. You can try different things, try different spices, try different variations, Learning how to cook can be a very useful skill. It will save you money. And also will give you a sense of accomplishment too. It will give you a positive, to me, I feel a positive sense of accomplishment. If I cook a meal and that meal turns out good and it tastes good, then it's like, yes, I'm not someone who likes being in the kitchen, but look what I made myself. And I saved myself a bunch of money. And when you cook at home, it's generally more nutritious. So cooking is something else you can do as well too. And also, other things you can do, like things that are lazier, that are more laid back, might not be quite as productive, such as just sitting and watching YouTube videos. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos myself, or making YouTube videos. It's not that hard to make YouTube videos. You can just pick up any smartphone and sign up a YouTube account and start making YouTube videos. Sit back and catch up on TV shows and movies that you've been wanting to watch. Another very valuable thing to do as well too is sleep. Catch up on your sleep. Like, sleeping is not just for lazy people. Sleeping is a bare necessity of life. The way that food and water and shelter and clothing and toiletries and sex and love and happiness, the way that all those things are bare necessities of life, another bare necessity of life is sleeping. If you don't get enough sleep, not only are you going to feel like crap, but also lack of sleep has been linked to serious health effects, such as heart disease and stroke. So, it's a good time to catch up on your sleep. Sleep as much as you're able to. It's a good, like a good night's sleep or even a good day's sleep is irreplaceable. It's priceless. Like, there's certain things that money cannot buy. And the one thing that money cannot buy is a good sleep. So catch up on your sleep. And what I know some other people do as well too is they will, some people will help them if they sit down and keep a journal, or even sit down and make up a list of all the positive things that are happening in their life. Anytime something good happens to you, write it down. And you can look back on that down the road and, it'll rekindle some good memories. Even when bad stuff happens to you, write it down, but then write down how you're going to deal with that situation next time, so that situation won't feel quite as bad next time. Anyways, I'm going to put some phone numbers and email addresses in the description for anyone who's suffering from depression, or even some people that might be feeling suicidal. I'm going to put down some helpful numbers some helpful information that you can come in contact with. And if you try different tips and nothing seems to be working, talk it out with family members and friends. Talk it out with them. Let them know how you're feeling, that you're depressed, that you're lonely, whatever. And if that doesn't work, go and seek professional counseling. Like, I know in Canada, since we have taxpayer-funded Medicare, that you can go and see a psychiatrist you can see a psychiatrist or psychologist free of charge. Like, it's paid for by our tax dollars, so you don't have to pay any extra money to go and see them. Whatever you do, don't just suffer in silence. Bad things can happen to people that suffer in silence. Please, get help if you need to. There is no shame whatsoever in getting professional help. There really isn't. You'll thank yourself that you got the help you needed, and your family will thank you as well too. Like, I know that nobody enjoys feeling like crap, but guess what? Your family and friends don't enjoy seeing you feeling like crap either. So, even though I'm not a professional, I'm hoping that this video is helpful to somebody or some people. Like, that's just the best advice that I was able to think of at the moment to help people out. I'm hoping that I've helped someone. Thank you for listening, and please read the description if you're looking for more information, like more about places that you can contact.